your country too. If you ask people, they're gonna be like, "Oh hell yeah, this country's in the shit or not." We got boys being born. They don't know if they're boys. This country's up.
That's so true.
If you go to Canada, they're gonna be like, "Country's run by Fidel Castro's illegitimate son, and they're taking our freedom." Place is fucked up.
People will tell you if
like
America
that
is strong or weak based on their political affiliation. 3 years ago, the Democrats would have said this whole thing's in the shitter. It's going terribly. Wage gap or some complaint they'd whip up. Now, like unemployment's the lowest it's been since like 18 years or something insane like that. And but Republicans are still going to be like the economy's in the crapper. Everything's terrible. And then the inverse is true. They would just find anything to complain about Trump.
Yeah, the economy is bad.
The one that bothers me is crime. The way that the economy is bad.
Why is it bad? The corporate profits being at records, the enormous, the very low unemployment, the real wages rising. Why is
real wages are not rising. Consumer price index is going up. Food, fuel, all these things are more expensive than they were.
A couple years out of spreadsheet would be the answer to this question.
The consumer price. Let's see. Unemployment rate average 5.72, reaching an all-time high, and it's fucking. Oh, that's May of 1953. That didn't really answer the question.
Hey, at least catch up to Reagan's time.
I'm sorry, Zach posted it here, and I didn't really scan
let's
it.
just
But it
all
talked
admit
about,
that
I said 18 years.
Most people would agree that things aren't going great right now. I think I know the unemployment numbers are what they are, but I think a lot of people say that that's a lot of people working multiple jobs to try to keep things together. And I don't know.
Most people's principal concern right now is economic.
Like, you're talking about downgrading the dollar and maybe moving to another. I mean,
as far as what people's stated concern is in the voter base, it's economic.
And I'm not blaming Biden. I don't want this to slide over into like.
So who you blaming, Kyle? Who are you blaming about the financial
You know who I'm fucking blaming. You know who I'm blaming.
I know.
All right?
Just
now I know who's blaming.
But all that aside, like, do we want to talk about Trump at that town hall, because that was ridiculous?
I didn't watch any.
That was
fill me in.
Didn't
not a lot of lick.
Okay, so Trump was found civilly liable for the sexual assault and the defamation against that journalist,
Jean Carroll, maybe.
Yeah, and he was found innocent of penetrating her, raping her, or whatever. And they made him pay a sum of something like $5 million combined.
He's appealing. Yes.
Yeah. And who knows where that goes. But the next day, and Trump was like, I'm going on CNN tonight on his Truth fucking mobile, whatever the fuck. He's like, I'm going on CNN tonight. Might go terribly for me. Might go terribly for them. We'll see. But hey, they made it. They made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So here we go. I would love to know what they paid Trump to go out there and in front of a crowd that was registered.
They paid him?
I know they paid him. They go out there in front of a crowd of registered moderates and registered Republicans and put on a fucking show. He bulldozed that moderator. She did the best she could. She'd be like, no, you're lying. That's a
there were no moderates, by the way. They were all Trump leaning. Trump leaning moderates.
The lady interviewing him.
The moderator.
I was talking about the crowd.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
The crowd was packed full of Trump sycophants.
Again, registered New Hampshire Republicans and moderates made up the crowd.
They made sure not to have any independents. They were Trump leaning independents and Trump voters. It's important because I know this.
I'd love to.
I know.
I'd love to see that because I wanted to see the makeup of the crowd more thoroughly. Doesn't matter though because of how it plays on TV and the planet, because they played it and Trump was getting laughs, cheers, and at one point she was trying to give him some shit and he was like, "You're a very nasty person. You're just a nasty person." And they're like, "Yeah!" It's like she thought that she was going to be there putting the fucking bright lights on Trump. And suddenly she was in hostile territory somehow. The first question of the night was about January 6th. So I saw this really cool clip where, again, this was definitely registered independents and Republicans that made up the post debate like interview people. You're like, you just watched the debate. What did you take from it?
Focus group. Okay.
Yeah. And they asked together like, how did you feel that he stuck to his lies about, the last election? How do you feel that he's, still talking about that? And he's like, well, y'all asked him the question. That was the first question of the night. And he's like, yeah, well, we wanted to know about it. That was his reply. And it came off really well for Trump. I feel like it was a huge win for Trump. Of course, everyone on the left and the far left is screaming foul. And they're not just turning on Trump. Now they hate CNN. Now CNN's the bad guy.
They hate CNN.
CNN fell off. That's the word. That's
CNN
the word.
notoriously
That's what
too
my
nice
that's
to
what my
Trump.
boys. That's what all my homies are
CNN
saying
has
now.
new management. CNN has a
new management. Like it's off. Nah, CNN's
watch CNN again. It's great.
So CNN's been saying for a while they wanted to be more straight news, just the facts, right? Because they were kind of drifting into MSNBC territory during the Trump presidency.
Yep.
And they have a new billionaire MAGA owner now, and they fired Don. That's what they call him.
And you said CNN has a new billionaire MAGA owner?
Yeah. That's what I keep reading. Oh,
I forget who it is, but it's a new guy.
He's a libertarian.
And he's like really like shifted what's going on there. And like,
so they fired Don Lemon. They fired Brian Stelter. They fired a bunch of the most left-leaning people at CNN.
And the lowest rated. Brian Stelter and Don Lemon had terrible ratings.
Okay.
They weren't.
And the new CEO, Chris I'm not sure if that's his name or not. And they're trying to be a little more straight news, and they held pretty much a rally for Trump on the air. They packed the audience full of Trump sycophants. They laughed at every line he made. They supported him all the way. They didn't like the moderator, and now people feel like CNN did a bad thing to air his lies.
I'd be interested to see CNN's rating change in shows over the past year or so, because this seems like a ratings grab to try and like entice people. Like, hey, hurry up, watch CNN. We need more people to watch our pharmaceutical ads. Look, we're going to show Trump looking good. Like, granted, I did not watch 1 second of this, but I would say it all has to do with ratings.
Dude, it's great. There's montages of it with air horns. Okay, like they asked him. The audience asked questions to. And this chubby white chick was like, asked him something about gas prices and I don't know, minivan mom or some shit. And he's like, drill, baby, drill. You know what I mean by that, don't you? And the audience starts whooping like Trump was sexy or something. And then later on, I wish I knew that lady's name. She wasn't the one who was interrogating him, I'll say. They were arguing how long after the riots or something on January 6th that he asked them to stop or something. She's like, you waited 5 hours or something. He's like, no, I'm going to have to whip it out. And he reaches in his jacket and he pulls out like transcripts of his tweets to show, I guess, the timeline of when he tweeted. I don't give a shit about any of that, but just the double entendre kind of like silly showmanship of, well, I'm going to have to whip it out on her. Right after.
Wait, it was a piece of paper?
It was a whole roll of transcripts of tweets, like printed out.
Bro, he kills that. He's had documents before. I've seen him pulled out folders, and it's actually the funniest bit. It's like actually something I think he took from WWE. People used to take out like documents and be like, "What I got right here," and no one ever gets to look through those. But remember that time when he did that conference? He had all those papers in front of him and like binders and folders, and you're like, people are like, "He's got the information for this guy. He's got the fucking info." What I like about him. I was on mushrooms once.
You were on mushrooms once. Okay.
Do you know your camera went out, Harley? Are you still here? Nope. Okay.
We'll hear from them. They have bad internet.
I got a FaceTime randomly. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Somebody who randomly FaceTimes.
This guy I paid to jerk off on FaceTime. But anyways, continue.
That makes sense. I get that. So Trump held a rally on CNN.
He did.
If you're a Republican, I gotta say it went really well for him. And if you're a Democrat, you're mad at CNN because it's like they betrayed them.
Huh.
They should have watched more.
If they'll actually change.
That's like being mad at a YouTuber because he changes formats. You should have watched more Minecraft, dude. You wanted Minecraft, you should have watched more. Oh, you don't like the format shifting over? Oh, you don't like Mean Orange?
I'm sorry. He doesn't say the N-word anymore? And he does charity boxing? I'm sorry.
Kyle's right. The reason they're making that change is not because, like, ratings were high and things were successful. CNN was kind of failing.
Yeah. I mean, like, cable news is not going to be around forever. Like they're already getting blown the fuck out by the internet. Like if I know Tucker was talking about like doing something on Twitter.
He's doing on Twitter,
like
yeah. That's what I've been hearing.
And if that like does what people think it will do, which is blow out the total numbers on like traditional media shows, if it does,
it's going to do crazy.
It's going to do crazy consistency.
Stuff. That's
like,
one of the biggest tweets I've ever seen.
Really show value, but it's also totally different because his market is what he has to hope is that Twitter's big enough now that his core market of boomers actually switches over to it, because a lot of the people who watch Fox News are old and they're not going to know how to switch over to a new medium. They're just going to go to a different guy on the same. Dude, this is true. This is 100% true.
Can I pause?
Your grandparents don't do Twitter?
I just don't like the phrasing. Like they don't know how to change the channel. No, what I actually see it as is brand loyalty gets deeply ingrained in old people. Use Head and Shoulders for 35 years. You're going to have a tough sell getting them on lever.
Sell some blue.
Whatever the fuck. Sure. Sell some blue.
I'm good at that.
Thanks. Yeah. So they just get set in their ways and it's very hard to get them to change. I don't know that CNN is going to pry anyone off of Fox, even if they get fucking Tucker.
Oh, no. I don't think anyone who watches Fox is going to switch to CNN or vice versa. I was meaning the medium itself. Like, I don't think a traditional TV viewer is, who, especially one in their 70s, is going to pivot to online as their premium choice of media. They might watch fucking Greg Gutfeld and go, well, Tucker's not on TV no more. Like, and that's like the end for them. But if he manages to retain a huge amount of his audience, that's the only other guy at Fox I know.
I'm sorry, I didn't follow. I thought you said they don't know how to change the channel to CNN, and I'm like, well,
no, they just don't know how to.
They're really good at changing channels. They probably do it all the time, but no, they don't know how to go to Twitter and find Tucker's show. Yeah, they legit.
Yeah, the same way, like even us now. Like I know Harley's all over TikTok. None of the three of us have TikTok. It's like the first social media that's come out that's been like, not for me. Like, think about someone who's 78
Why
years
are you
old.
doxing me as the gayest guy here right now? Can't believe you just doxed me as the gayest guy. Show.
I don't think.
You can't see that. Let YouTube kind of like roll on to the next video, and it went to like Trump. And man, did the fucking buzz smooth over. We had the best laugh just watching Trump be Trump. Nonstop, always being Trump. And it was like, before this, like, it went from Trump and then it would go to like old school wrestling promos. And then it would go back to Trump and it was recommended. And we were just like, Trump is like a fucking 90s wrestler with this shit. Like, he was fucking killing it. And I'm not listening. He wouldn't have had my vote. But fuck if he was not the most entertaining man alive. Just, I guess this wasn't affecting my life, so I could sit and laugh about it anyways. But like, fuck, man, I saw the appeal of people with him because like, I'm like, bro, this guy's hilarious. Everyone here is taking it seriously and he's doing his thing. Yeah. He's doing his thing. He's always doing his thing nonstop. Like shit, like you said, pulling out the whip it out, like pulling out the paper. We were cracking the fucking binders everywhere and all the documents and like,
remember when he had the fast food for all the athletes that time? It was like some championship team.
It was
the funniest
sort of government shutdown, and there was no budget or money. There was no catering, so he just bought fast food for him.
Nobody loved McDonald's. He loved McDonald's. He always bought McDonald's.
He loved McDonald's, but he made a point to be like, not everyone likes McDonald's. Some people like Chick-fil-A. Some like Domino's. We've got something here for everyone. Something here for everyone, folks. And then pull up the picture of him standing there, arms wide, proudly, with Taco Bell in front of him. It's the best photo of a president.
This should be his presidential portrait.
Bro, this is literally why. This is why Epic Mealtime can't exist anymore and get the views it used to. Like, how am I going to compete with that? How can I compete with the fucking president?
So that room that he's in, the president chooses how that room is decorated. The reason it is all gold and gaudy, he chose all of that, or somebody working for him.
No shit.
Like, look at those gold ass candelabras or whatever.
Ooh, candelabra.
I mean, he made it work. You got to give him credit.
Oh, of course. Like, I mean, the football players are like having a fun time anyway, just hanging around the White House.
College national champions. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
They have the nugget sauce in silver bowls.
I like that. I never noticed that.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, Trump is a real showman. I'm looking forward to his,
Do you think
show,
he'll skip the
Trump show.
debates? He's talking about skipping the debates, which isn't typical for a when there's no incumbent. The incumbent skips the debate all the time, but not usually the primary.
I could see him doing a thing where during the debate he does his own thing and his competing show, on some other network or something, and that'll still be entertaining. I think we'll still get our dose of Trump being Trump. I do like having his opponents there, but if he doesn't want to do that, that's probably a calculated, thing. It does make them look bigger to be in the room with him. Him sort of having the point of, please, there are challengers. Not only am I the incumbent, I'm the sitting president, technically speaking, and I'll have that sorted out legally once I get back into the White House.
Tell him.
I struggle to put my bias aside sometimes. And in this situation, I'm like, you're skipping the debates, you weak pussy pansy coward. Harley wouldn't skip the debates. Harley would go in there, lose a
punched out of the ring.
and get the fuck back in like a man. Trump, on the other hand, running like a coward. However, I can't completely deny the tactical logic of it. He's up by 40 points, something crazy like that. The
Over
debates,
DeSantis?
Yeah, but
the debates aren't going to help him. It's not like he needs to stretch that to 50. It's only lose.
Yeah, I don't hear about DeSantis being I just don't. I've watched a couple clips of him. That guy's boring.
He's getting his ass kicked by a cartoon mouse right now. Who cares?
So there was a moment during the town hall when, what did she ask him? God,
who's in the boat?
That's Trump.
Is this an AI image?
Oh my god! My god! Who does he?
Oh, that's Sarah Huckabee in the boat.
There's Sarah Huckabee.
There's Bolton in the.
Wait, who else can we find? That's his wife. That's the easy one.
Oh yeah.
The mustache guy.
Mustache guy's John Bolton.
Yep.
Okay.
Man, they always fucking draw him like he's not a fat ass. It's so funny.
Yes, they always draw it. They take 40 pounds off.
He looks great there.
Is that Mike Pence
generous.
maybe holding the flag?
That's a lot of thigh gap for a man of his size.
I think,
but you know what? Real, that boat would be rocking.
He's still fat as fuck, but he's lost weight since he stopped being president. And if he became president again, all that weight will come back instantly.
I think that's Jeff Sessions, like sort of in the sitting down in front of Trump ish.
Oh, there's his daughter.
No, Jeff Sessions is like blue poncho on.
Dude, this shit sucks. Who did this? Okay. Who made these?
Yeah,
these
I'm not
terrible.
That's his daughter. Oh, okay.
Ugh.
Yeah. Fan of her. She's great.
Yeah.
She should be president.
Wait, his daughter painted that?
No, she was in it. I said it.
No better than that. No, I'm looking forward to the Trump show, man. He puts on a good show. There was that moment during the debate, I remember now, where she said, yesterday you were found guilty. And he was like, and my polls went up. Like that, like immediately before she could finish her question. It's like, yesterday you were found civilly liable for sexually blah, blah, blah. And my poll numbers went up. Like, and the crowd's like, yeah. That's
DeSantis has no chance, seemingly.
That was like 10 minutes in.
We'll see.
There was a time. There was a time.
It's going to hurt him.
I think so too.
No way.
You don't think so?
No way. No way. Like,
we'll
don't you?
I've been wrong about this
speak
many times.
Don't you? Like, I know. Like, I've seen it, man. People do not care. It's so crazy. People used to like cover up their weird shit, even online. People used to say weird shit behind anonymous name tags.
You're right.
There's no one cares anymore. Really people are wild now.
He shot a guy on Fifth Avenue. However, when he goes to the general, being a convicted rapist is a problem. Like the Republicans put that pedophile up in Alabama, and he lost in Alabama in the general.
Yeah, but you see his jokes? That guy's not funny at all.
It's true.
It is different. Sucks. It is different, right?
He pulled that 6-shooter out.
Was Trump a convicted rapist?
This is touchy touch time.
I exaggerated. He's for sexual assault. He's convicted of.
Of a minor, probably, though. They like them young. I'll say this about the Republicans. They like them young. You know, you can't deny it. You rarely see them in a sex scandal with like a 19 or 20-year-old, something that you could kind of get behind.
Oh, all of that. Hollywood, too. I can't believe I figured out every human's a piece of shit and everyone's a pedophile.
Everybody likes them young.
Pandemics changed my shit, bro.
How young's too young, Harley? I think I've asked. Oh no, I've asked you this before. Never mind. We don't need to rehash that.
Dude, I saw one of the funniest.
I want to make a new quote. Wait, I want to make a new quote here. Wait, he's got me.
You said a higher than average number. I think you only wanted to date someone who was like 27 or 28 or something or above. Or
that's right.
Revise that.
Yeah, you wanted all those young ladies out there to know, hey, if you're 26 or below, get away from me. Get away and stay away.
I must have lied. I'm with someone younger than that.
He's saying, wait your turn.
I lied. Dude, I lied on the podcast.
I don't remember what you said, honestly. I just remember it was a little bit higher than, because I'm always
we had to, we did the math, right? We got to divide our age and we got to divide our age by 3 and add 2. I think that's the equation.
I don't need algebra to think you're right and wrong.